What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Hacksmith's Mechanic channel. Today we're going to accomplish two things. Number one, we're going to get the 911 back on the road running properly. And number two, we're going to install some RS door cards that we bought for the 911 a couple years ago that we've never installed. Now, about 2 or 3 months ago, the car was running great, and I came home one day and I decided to put a little oil in it because it looked like it was low. The next time out to start the car, really rough. In fact, my wife walked out, she knows nothing about these cars, and said, that doesn't sound right, and she was right. So I could not figure out what was going on. I enlisted the help of some friends. We pulled spark plugs. I changed the oil 2 times, and I could not figure it out. Now, thanks to a video from Heidi and Franny's garage, be sure to check them out. There was an article about how to figure out if your car is misfiring. I went through their list of what to look for to fix a misfire on a 3.2 911, which include things like the vacuum lines and stuff you would normally think of. But then they mentioned that there's 3 plugs on the back left side of the engine, including one that's the cylinder head temperature sensor. And so this is telling the computer how hot it is and if it needs more gasoline. And so when I went through my cabin and I was looking in the 911, I figured out that this thing was unplugged. And if you unplug this thing, the car runs terrible because it dumps a bunch of gas in and all you smell is gas and the engine's terrible. And this thing had come unplugged, and I'm about to show you what was happening and how it was doing this. So there's 3 sensors here, and the top one is the cylinder head sensor, this white one. And as you can see, this coolant hose here that has to do with my air conditioning kind of rests on the very top of this plug. And what I figured out was as I was closing my lid to the hood, it was coming in contact with the sensor and knocking it off. So I need to figure out a way to get this hose further out of the way, or I might just tape this sensor on here because it's not on here terribly good. It's a little bit loose, so we might need to fix that. But I think that is the issue to our problem. So I'm gonna tape this up, get this secure, start the engine, let it get warmed up to temperature, make sure we've got enough correct amount of oil in there, and make sure this thing's running good. All right, I've got a bunch of electrical tape, as you can see on this sensor. It's a little bit more secure. Mostly we just need to get this out of the way. But let's go ahead and start the car up. We're gonna get it warmed up to temperature here, check the oil, make sure everything's running good. All right, well, I'm really happy to report that the 911 is running great. When I started the car, you guys heard that it was doing some idle hunting, and what it was doing was burning off some of the excess gas that had been dumped in the engine because that cylinder head temperature sensor had been pulled off. So when I drove the car after replacing the cylinder head temperature sensor, let's say a week ago, it was running really rich. It was too much gasoline. It was just because it had been running too long without that temperature sensor in there because I did not know it was unplugged, which is stupid. But I took it out for a test drive, got it warmed up, checked the oil. We're right in between halfway on the stick, which is good. Car's running great, so thumbs up there. So we're good to go and get back on the road. Now, the next project we're gonna do is RS door cards. Now, these are door cards that I purchased from Carbone. And Carbone is a secondhand parts supplier out of Poland. And they make some really cool stuff, a lot of custom stuff, a lot of interior, some engine bits. I'll put a link in there. Definitely go check them out. Some really cool things if you want to customize your Porsche. So here's what we're dealing with. This is the driver's side of our 911. You can see these are the original door cards in here, which are actually in pretty good shape. The one thing that bugs me about this is it's missing the pocket, which generally goes down here. And the pockets, to find the original ones, are about 200 bucks. And they really don't serve much function. The thing that bugs me about this is under here, to open the door, you pull this open here and there's a latch that pulls right there. Well, this piece right here pops out quite a bit, so I'm constantly having to grab this latch and pull it out versus actually pulling this. But overall, I just think that the RS door cards look better. It's much more simple and by design, and we're gonna take these off, put those on. I think it's gonna look great. I've actually done the other side already, and so I'm going to show you how those look, and then I'll show you how we're going to do it on the driver's side. All right, so this is what the door cards look on the passenger side. I think they turned out really well. Very clean look with the red straps. I really like those. Pretty simple install. Probably took me a little bit over an hour or so just because I didn't know what I was doing the first time. But it's pretty simple, and we're going to jump to the driver's side now. There's a cover here on the top, which we're going to take off. There's one screw here, there's one screw here, and then there's two underneath, and this is just gonna lift off. We've got screws down at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. We've got to take off the cover for the speaker. There's some clips. There's two flathead screws in here. This is gonna come off. There's a screw in here. Once we get all that off, we should be able to pull this off, undo the clips. We'll have to undo here, making sure we take pictures so we do it correctly the right way back, and then everything will be off and we can start putting the new ones on. So let's get started. All right, as you can see, we've got pretty much everything off. We just need to unclip these window switches here. So I'm gonna take a picture of those, make sure we get them right, and then we'll be able to pull this off. Old card off here. Just a tip, you wanna do this when the window's up, just in case you do anything crazy here, so tip there. All right, so we have the strap here, which is gonna go on to here, and they make a nice little kit here for that, which is essentially this pin here will drop in to where the old one was, and this cotter pin will go in, and we'll split this off and tighten it up. So I'm going to put the strap in here first. Now we're gonna bend this back so it's in there really good. Test this. Looks like our okay. Snap off the loose part of it. All right. Good. Okay. All right. One other thing we're going to do is drill into the door right here, because we're going to put the handle and it's going to attach to the door. You don't want to attach it just to the card because it will get ripped off. So we're going to have to basically mock up our door card with some tabs, figure out where these holes are, drill in there. We're going to put some rivets in there with some screw holes so we can drill some in there. So we're going to do that now. All right, let me show you what the back of these carbone RS door cards look like. It's pretty slick, although I'm not wild about this being cracked over here, but essentially it's very thick with some foam on the back. They've cut everything out. You can see actually the outlines for different other products they have. They make one door card that has a strap that comes down here and it connects right here. Ours don't do that, much more simple. This here, right here, is a cutout for if you want to put a iPhone charger, which is a sleeve, which is kind of slick. Again, this is cut out for the speaker. These are for the window switches. This is for the door lock. The pull strap's going to go through here for the door latch, and then a couple over here. One of the handy things that they do is they put on here how to rewire up the window switches. So you can see that they have all the switches located for this car and which go where. So I've taken a picture of that just to confirm with the other picture that I took of where the window wire switches go. So I'm going to put a couple of tabs in these parts here, and then this side over here, that piece right there. And we're going to fit this to the door so we can then flip this over. These two holes here and here are where our straps are going to be, the pull strap here. So we're going to drill into there, into the door, and put some rivets in so we can get our pull strap. So that's what we're going to do now. Here and here for our pull handles. So now I'm going to take this cool rivet gun, which I've actually never used except for the first time I did this. And this is going to put this little sleeve in here, which is a M4 size, which you can then screw our door pull handle screw into and connect it to the door. So pretty simple. Put this in here. Just get that in the hole, and then we squeeze till it clicks. Then we unscrew from here on this side, and that will essentially unscrew us out of our new screw hole. So those have never used a rivet gun, super easy. I bought this one on Amazon. You can see now we have a fresh new hole to use to put stuff in the door. Pretty awesome. All right guys, well, I've got everything together. I think it looks great, so take a look. So this is our final installed RS door card. Our switches are good. Everything lined up really nice. I did have to drill extra holes for the door handle holes. I didn't quite mount those correctly, but everything else came out really good. I think that it looks really nice. One problem. So I tested the driver's side switch to make sure I wired it up correctly, and I did. And then as I was testing the, before I installed the passenger side switch on this side, I actually had the key still on, the on position, because I was testing the other side. And when the wires came in contact with the switch, I saw a little spark. And I quickly shut off the key, but then I installed it and pretty sure I shorted out the entire Windows system. So not only does the driver's side switch not work, the passenger side switch on that side doesn't work, which I know is working in the past, and neither one of these new ones work. So somehow I've shorted that out. I have no idea how to fix that. I took the positive battery cable off the battery for a while, put it back on there. That didn't do anything. I might have fried it. So if you have any idea how to fix that, what to do for shorting out the system for the Windows, please let me know. I'm sure it's gonna suck, whatever it is, but that's where we are, and we have a new project. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Check out Carbone for any of your 911 needs. That's some awesome stuff. I love these RS door cards. They look amazing. Now I just gotta get my Windows to work. Thanks for watching. All right, guys, so before you blow up the comments on what an idiot I am as far as this Windows shorting out, I did take the time to go to Google and look it up, and also thought, well, let's take a look at the fuses. Maybe I blew a fuse. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. So I have the old school fuses in my car, and you can see that this fuse here has basically been blown. So as soon as I looked at it, figured out where it was in the diagram, pulled it, was immediately knew it was blown. Luckily, I had some extra old school fuses like this, popped it back in, Windows worked great. So we are good to go. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.